Joining me on the Laser Hotline right on time, Korn guitarist and founding member James "Monkey" Schaefer.
What's going on, man? Is this Andy?
Yes, sir.
What's up, dude?
Just living large here in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time this afternoon, man.
No problem.
Korn are on tour in support of the Path of Totality. Very excited to have you back here in Des Moines. The show is tomorrow night already at the Valair Ballroom. Imagine touring on this album. Been a pretty sizable change of pace from the traditional for you guys.
You know, we touring is touring, man. It takes a lot of patience, and it's a lot of, during the show, it's a lot of hard work. But it's like we're having fun. We're doing what we love. It's all worth it,
Sure. The album itself is a pretty sizable change of pace for this band, having teamed up with some notable names in the world of dubstep to give your trademark sound a new depth. I know Jonathan had been into that style of music prior to bringing the idea to the band. Was this an entirely foreign concept when the idea was introduced to you personally?
Well, he started playing me the Skrillex record.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is crazy. And he played me 3 or 4 tracks before he sort of sprung the idea on me. And I had already sort of picked out 3 or 4, 5 characteristics in those songs that I was like, wow, that's cool. And how are they doing that? And so it wasn't really that far of a jump for us. I think because we've always tried to bring, even in the early 90s, we were trying to do, bring in hip-hop and 808s and like low, heavy. Even the way we tune our guitars and stuff has always been a sort of trying to capture that low, thing about the band. So to me, as a musician, I don't think it was that different. I mean, as a listener, probably.
Sure. This band, as you kind of alluded to, never been afraid of taking chances. I remember when the debut album came out, nothing in the world sounded like it,
Yeah, but to me and us, it was just our music, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But as listeners, it was like, whoa, what is this? And people were freaking out. I'm like, well, we're just doing what we do. This is, and to me, when we really started to experiment and take chances, to me, was when we did the record Follow the Leader, because then we started to experiment with different sounds, and we even used different producers, and that to me was a big jump. And I remember we did the song Got the Life, and I was worried about that song, and that song became a pretty big hit for us.
Yeah, I suppose you brought in some new recording techniques and some new orchestrations too. When you listen to like the self-titled debut and then you listen to Life is Peachy, there really is quite a jump there between Life is Peachy and Follow the Leader, now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, the first 2 records we did with Ross Robinson, and then we wanted to shift gears a little bit and experiment with some other, other sounds, song arrangements, melodies, and just change it up. So that's sort of been the norm now after looking back and thinking about what we've done with each record. And, to me, it's sort of like just another chapter in the ongoing career of what we do. And for us to stay sort of engaged creatively, well, it's sort of something we have to do as creative people, is sort of keep moving forward and trying new things, because it keeps us interested. And especially coming up on 20 years, it's something that we need to do.
More with Monkey from Korn after a tune he mentioned turned out pretty damn good from Follow the Leader. It's Got the Life on Laser 103.3. James Schaefer, known to most as Monkey from the band Korn, is my special guest. Again, excited for the show at the Valair Ballroom, which is coming up tomorrow night. I hear the old school Korn fans are going to love the opening portion of the set.
Yeah, we do 3 or 4 tracks from our first 2 records, and we wanted to kind of open up with these songs because we know that through almost 20 years of touring and being a band that, we've accumulated quite a wide range and demographic of Korn fans through the years. So, we want to make everybody happy. It's impossible, but we want to make as many people as we can happy with some old songs. We're going to do some new songs, and we're going to finish off with some I guess hits or classics. And so we sort of try to give everybody a little bit of Korn history in an hour and 45 minutes.
You mentioned playing some of the new material. It seems like you're playing quite a few songs from the Path of Totality on this tour. What sorts of special challenges do playing those songs live present when compared to the standard vocal, guitar, bass, drum of the previous material?
There are some key elements that have to be ran on a click track, which is different for us. It's something we've just started to kind of experiment with. And you have to be on beat. You have to be in time with the click track, or things can get really messy. Mm-hmm. But to me, the songs live off the new record are so heavy and just very Korn. I don't think you've really experienced the new record until you've seen the songs performed live. They are super heavy. And I don't think people really like, oh yeah, it's even because the guitars are so present live, and the low end hits so fat and just hits it's a super low register that you're going to see live, that low doors on that place.
I keep hearing the word experimental when the new album is brought up. In your opinion, has this experiment succeeded? And if so, could you see future material this band writes continue to incorporate elements of dubstep and electronic music?
I think that it has been successful. I think that it's going to evolve. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a dubstep influence, but I mean, we've always had an element of some sort of a track from, if you look back through, even on our first record, we had a song called Helmet in the Bush, which had it has a drum machine through it. And we've always been industrial metal fans, so that, I think, element's going to remain, as it always has. I'm a huge Ministry fan, so in some form we're going to have some sort of electronic influence, whether its presence is dominant. I don't think it ever will dominate the true essence of Korn, but I think that we'll have elements of it in sprinkled around whatever material we write in the future.
I've just got one last thing here for you, and I do appreciate your time again. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Something everyone's been talking about since it occurred last month at the Carolina Rebellion is the first onstage appearance with your former bandmate Brian Head Welch in 7 years. I totally get that all parties are playing it cool and for good reason, but for you personally, it had to have been a good feeling to have your old friend back up there with you.
It was incredible, but to me, when he came up on my bus early that afternoon, that was my real moment. Playing with him on stage was the bonus for that day, but actually reconnecting with him and hanging out and telling stories and just catching up, that was the moment for me. And then at the end, it was just so natural and unplanned and sort of by the way, would you like to, if you do, if you don't, it's cool. Would you like to jam with us maybe a couple songs? And he's like, yeah, okay. Maybe I'll do the last one. And it was very natural and sort of organic how it all came about. And it was great. You know what? The main thing about the whole experience and what I walked away from that was I have one of my best friends back in my life. That's all that matters.
Yeah, you're both great men, by the way. I'm really happy to hear that, knowing both of you. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Korn guitarist James Monkey Schaefer has been my special guest. The show, again, tomorrow night at the Valair Ballroom. Really excited for this one, man.
I'm excited. I think we played there about 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago, so I'm looking forward to coming back.
It's been a minute, and then and I remember running into you as well at a Deftones show at a small club downtown Des Moines too. So
yeah, I was pretty tanked.
We all were that night, my friend, and I think you know what I'm talking about. So
oh yeah.
Again, thanks for your time. Say hey to the guys for me. We'll see you very soon. Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, Andy.
You're welcome, and you're welcome back anytime, my friend. Just over 24 hours away from Korn's return to the capital city.